we're good over here. Like, things are better. Okay, y'all didn't know I was going through that while I was trying to meet my reading goal, but I'm usually the type of person that goes through things like this very harshly. It hits me and it's bad. I hope y'all don't mind me being snuggled up in this heated blanket because my apartment is absolutely freezing. Today, I am going to give y'all a life update because this is going to be life reset video with a little bit of book content. We got to meet our reading goal this year. I set it much lower than I did last year, but before I get to that, I have a little bit of a life update. This is not meant to be a video with details and tea, just a life update just in case anybody's going through the same thing, or you have gone through the same thing, or you're thinking about going through the same thing and you're like, what is life like after that? I am scared. I am here to tell you that everything's going to be all right. I am currently going through a divorce, which should be simple, easy transaction. So I'm not even concerned about that. After the last month or so that I've been initiating this separation and then into divorce, I didn't actually need a big dramatic reinvention. I am just doing little things to reset my life. I'm really just going to start off with my physical space. So I live in an apartment and I'm with my son who is about to be 17 years old and my dog Raiden boy who is 13 years old. And I'm already kind of a minimalist, so I didn't really have a lot to reset. There is less belongings in here now that it's just me and my son. My son pretty much just kind of stays to his room. He's a teenager and like a true teenager in that way. So I have literally the kitchen, bathroom, dining room, living room, my bedroom, and my ginormous closet to play around with and just make it mine. And then again, I'm already kind of minimalist, so I don't want to over decorate or buy like a bunch of things. I just kind of wanted to make some of the things mine. Part of that was purchasing my bookshelf that I have set up over there. I will insert a picture here. And then I also made a reel of me kind of doing like little tweaks to my bedroom to kind of make it more me. So I will link that here. I feel like if you're going through something similar, the first thing to do is just reset your space because where you live is where your peace is. You're here most of the time, especially if you work from home. I actually go into the office the majority of the weeks. So a lot of my time is spent at work, but the rest of that time is mostly spent here. I'm not someone who is out and about a lot. Like I go out with my friends maybe one weekend a month, or I'll go to my friend's house and we'll do wine and stuff. But for the most part, I'm home. So I think step one, make sure it's tidy first and foremost, because I feel like when you go into wanting to reset your space, you're like, I want to go to Hobby Lobby or something like that, or I want to go to At Home and get a bunch of stuff. And I think really the best thing to do is like go through, see what you can donate, clear it out of the stuff that doesn't serve you anymore, and make it very tidy and peaceful. So that was my first step. I did that like literally the day after my husband moved out. I cleaned out everything and took it all to Savers, which is a thrift store. Just loaded up my car, took everything to Savers and cleared out everything that did not serve me anymore. You know, it could have been like some stuff he left behind or just stuff I no longer needed. And I reset that space in a very clean, just minimalist looking way. And that immediately brought me peace. Immediately I felt good after the day. It was like a whole work day. It was like from 9 to like 2 p.m. I was just clearing things out, getting everything tidy, and it was worth that entire day to do that. So I would say that's step one, especially if you're in a space where the person left and then you're in the space still, then that was like the first thing I did. as opposed to like kind of moping around. And if that works for you too, like taking a day or two to do that, that's fine. Do what you need to do. But like I'm a person that's like when something happens, I immediately jump into action. And that was just one peaceful action that I did to start fresh. And for the most part, everything looks the same, but it's just less stuff, more tidy, more peaceful. I get to like sit on the couch underneath this heated blanket and read or watch TV, and it just feels so good. Light a candle, got my dog down here in his bed, and it just felt nice. It was so funny because my friends told me that my bedroom looked like a jail cell because I'm in an apartment and I don't plan on being here permanently. Once my son graduates from high school, then we will go somewhere else and find a more permanent residence. We're here for the school system. So I didn't really want to put a lot into making the space mine. So it really did look like a jail cell. I will insert a photo here. And they were like, just do like a little bit of decorating. And I am still on the hunt for a really nice area rug. Yeah, they were like, you need to make it look a little bit better. I went from jail cell to dorm room, which is fine with me. I loved decorating my dorm when I was in college. Granted, I'm 39 now, but that's okay. Like just making the space like a little bit cuter. Another thing I put a lot of thought into when thinking about, embarking on this journey. I don't say alone because I do have my dog and my son and a really supportive family and friends, but embarking on this like solo life is that I wanted to take care of myself. Again, instead of, kind of moping around a little bit, I wanted to be very intentional on still working out. I don't work out as many days as I was before. I was working out 4 days a week, but I'm at 2 to 3 days a week now. And then I'm looking to increase that back to 4 just because mentally I was like preoccupied. Like my mind was just like a fuzz. Because I know I'm making this very positive, but that doesn't mean that I wasn't like confused or like mentally fuzzy. I reduced my workout days, but still said I'm still going to go to the gym a few times a week. I still continued with my grocery shopping, continuing with my meal prepping, and I did my makeup every day and I took care of my hair and did my laundry, more often and just kind of like shopping my closet and, putting together cute outfits and just feeling put together. Like for some reason, for me, what works for me is putting myself together because if I look together, then I feel more together. I kind of just like didn't put those things to the wayside. I was like, nope, I'm gonna take care of myself like I normally would, even though I'm going through this very confusing thing. I'm not devastated. It was just confusing as anyone I think would feel. So you're kind of out of whack. This person's no longer here. We were married or have been married for 10 years. Your life is just completely different. So you just kind of like stick to your normal routine, still get ready, still do your workout routine, still do your meal prep routine, and just, I don't know, keep it together as best as you can until it feels normal, which is where I am right now. I think, which is why it's like easy for me to talk about it now on this video, this reset video, where I'm like, wait, okay, this routine feels normal to me now. Like coming home to no one feels normal to me now. Not thinking about this other person is normal to me now. So I've just kind of like faked it until I made it. And now I'm on the other side of that. So keeping up with your routine as much as possible is probably the best way to go about this reset, because it's a reset, but not really, because you're still kind of doing things the same. The next phase of this reset that I'm on is budgeting. I had another person here paying certain bills, contributing to rent, and now that's all me now. So it's really coming to terms with like limiting your spending, especially if you're someone like me who buys books like crazy, shops at TJ Maxx, loves to be at TJ Maxx, loves to be at Marshall's, love a Target run, So it's really just those little things that add up, making sure that you're not still doing that. And I have an abundance of things. Like, as minimal as the stuff that I have, because I was practicing minimalism and wasn't shopping for clothes and things like that, those little trips to Target, those little trips to Books a Million, Amazon orders for books, all catches up to you when you are paying bills by yourself. I don't have like a set budget yet. What I've been doing since everything is so new is just simply not buying these little things that I normally would. I order my groceries on Instacart, and that actually saves me a lot of money because I'm just clicking on the app what I need. I'm not like walking down the aisle and like putting things into the cart as I see them. It's like I have my list, I put it into Instacart, I drive to Aldi, pick it up, and I get what I get. And also now I'm ordering groceries for less people. And feeding a man is like really expensive. So I'm actually saving a lot of money in groceries. My son, though, is a vacuum, okay, because he eats so much. It's like a bottomless pit in his stomach. He's a 17-year-old basketball player, so he's hungry all the time. Just having that budget and like thinking about spending money in a different way than I did before when I did have that extra income has been a really nice reset. And I don't miss the things that I would have bought because it was all pointless stuff that I was buying, and I don't even know what that stuff would be. So I don't even know what I'm missing. No idea what I'm missing. And when you have your own space here, you can just like buy a little cheap bottle of wine, or, get like a little cheese and crackers, or Oreos is my favorite nighttime snack. And then just being here in this peaceful space by yourself, candle lit, you don't really feel the need to go out and about. I don't know. It's like my little sanctuary in here because I've made it like this nice peaceful space, and the energy is different. And that has really helped me to spend less money just being in your own little oasis at home. More to come on that as I develop a budget, and maybe I can be a little bit more helpful to anyone going through this, or just anyone who's living alone or a single mom or anything like that. But it's really just my step one is to spend less, shop my own closet, be just appreciative of the things that I have now, and not feel the need to want more and more and more. And it's been feeling really good, actually. It feels positive. I don't know. I'm actually very shocked at how positive I'm feeling right now. I'm shocking myself. I'm usually the type of person that goes through things like this very harshly. It hits me and it's bad. But for some reason, I don't know, maybe it's the fact that I'm almost 40 and I just kind of grew out of that kind of reaction. Not to say that if divorce is hitting you hard, then it's a bad thing. I think that we all go through things by, the way we go through things, but I have always been someone who takes things very hard. I drop weight immediately. I'm crying, messing up at work, and I said to myself, I'm that's never happening to me again. So, I don't know. I'm just trying to look at things like really positively, and reset in a way that's really healthy, and reset in a way that's not dramatic. I used to feel like I needed to completely turn my life around in order to be like, I'm doing great. But it's really these little things and actually just sticking to your normal routine that makes you feel better through these types of life changes. I don't know. I like these little, like the little budget things that I'm doing, the little incremental things that I'm doing around the apartment, the little like strides I'm taking towards my health by just like a couple days a week working out, meal prepping, things like that. Just trying to stay as normal as possible. And it also, I think, is helpful for my son if I'm just kind of like things are kind of mostly normal. So that's what I've been doing. I'm not saying I'm an expert at this. I'm just telling y'all what my little reset routine is. That's that for like the normal life things. But I really want to talk about my reading goal because I didn't meet my reading goal last year. 60 books for 2025. I very easily could have read 60 books. I did not. And I said, you know what? I was going through this stuff towards the end of the year and did not want to try to like shove books into like I wouldn't have taken in any of the information. I wouldn't have comprehended any of the stories because I was going through some stuff and was very distracted and had some things to figure out. So this year I'm starting off with a goal of 40 books, and I think it's very achievable. I started off the year finishing Mile High by Liz Tomford. Liz Tomfordy. I don't know how to say her last name, but I was obsessed with it. It was a buddy read, so I'm reading it with someone else. And you already know I'm on to the next book. So I am currently reading The Right Move. I knew it was going to be about Ryan and Indy. Like, as soon as Indy started commenting on Ryan and like how hot he is, I was like, oh, I bet they're book two because I didn't look ahead. I just started it. I'm only 5 chapters in. I really need to get on top of it. I have been binging things. So, you guys, I'm all over the place. I'm all over the place. Sorry. I watched Heated Rivalry a couple days ago and I'm obsessed with it. And now I want to finish the book because I started the audiobook and was like, I want to finish the book before I watched the series. But then my friend Aisha was like, you need to watch this ASAP. And I was like, okay, I haven't finished the audiobook, but I'm going to watch it. And then I started watching all of the James Bond movies because they're on Netflix now. And Tell Me Lies is out right now. So I have not been reading. So I'm 5 chapters into this and I know I'm going to love it because I loved Mile High. I loved it so much. It was addicting. Like once I started it, it was hard for me to put down. So I know that I'm going to feel the same way about this, but y'all got to hold me accountable on my reading goal because we're good over here. Like things are better. Okay. Y'all didn't know I was going through that while I was trying to meet my reading goal, but I really want to meet my reading goal this year. So hold me accountable. I do also want to show y'all the books I got for Christmas because this I think is going to get me through because I am a thriller girly through and through. I love a romance book, but I am first and foremost a thriller book girly. That's how I started my reading journey, and they're my tried and true. So my sister-in-law was my Secret Santa this year, my family, and she got me 4 thriller books that I had sitting in my Amazon cart. So we pulled names and then I sent a screenshot to my whole family and was like, I've had these in my Amazon cart. This is what I want for my Secret Santa. And I got them all from a video recommendation. I'll try to find where the recommendation was from. It was on TikTok and I'm not like on TikTok right now. Like I have a TikTok account, but I'm not logging in because of the terms and conditions. So I will try to hunt down who recommended all of these books, but I think that this is going to jumpstart my reading goal for the year with this new 2026 reset, my new life. I'm going to read these 4 thrillers. So I'm just going to go through them. And if you guys have read them, please say in the comments. The first one is Grady Lake. And this is book 1. I'm just going to skim through and tell you what the books are about. It says Katie Bernard reluctantly returns home to Grady Lake 2 decades after her older sister Mallory disappeared without a trace. A story that has captivated the nation since the day she was reported missing in 2003. After leaving home years ago, Katie is overjoyed to reunite with her childhood best friend and cousin while working for her family's lakeside resort at the end of the tourist season in northern Michigan. Just when life begins to feel normal again, a teenage girl goes missing from the resort and she has vanished without a trace, just like Mallory. The area hasn't been a major crime scene in decades, leading everyone to believe the disappearances must be connected. Which scenario is more terrifying? The theory that there are 2 monsters lurking in the small lakeside town, or the possibility that the same maniac has waited 20 years before striking again? And it's short. Like, I feel like this is going to be good for me to reset my reading habits because it's only like 200 something pages. So I'm excited about this one. Pretty Little Wife. by Darby Kane, and the other one is by J.L. Hyde. Yeah, J.L. Hyde. And this one is Pretty Little Wife says there's more than one way to end a marriage. So let's see what this is about. Lila Ridgefield lives in an idyllic college town, but not everything is what it seems. Lila isn't what she seems. A student vanished months ago. Now Lila's husband, Aaron, is also missing. At first, these cases are treated as horrible coincidences until it's discovered that the student's really the third of 3 unexplained disappearances over the last 4 years. The police are desperate to find the connection, if there even is one. Little do they know they might be stumbling over only part of the truth. With the small town in an uproar, everyone is worried about the whereabouts of the beloved high school teacher, everyone except his wife. Lila is more confused because she was the last person to see her husband's body and now it's gone. Okay. Shouldn't a dead husband stay dead? It says. This is pulling me in. Okay. This is why I wanted it. This is about 400 pages, so a little bit longer. It is exactly 400 pages. That's a little bit longer, but it's fine. Okay, the next one we have is Return to Midnight by Emma Dews. I love the cover of this book. That's what really sold me on it. So this one is nearly 10 years ago, 5 Ohio University students were murdered in an off-campus Victorian home. Oh my God, I don't think when I picked this, I realized that this happened in Ohio. I know where Ohio University is. I've been there for a Halloween party when I was in college. I live in Ohio. The media dubbed it the Midnight House Massacre. Oh my God. Ever since, survivor and novelist Margot Davis has wanted to forget it and never again utter the killer's name until she's compelled to write her side of the story. To do that, she's returning to Midnight House. It'll be a chance for Margot to reconnect with the other survivors, heal the trauma, and dispel the ugly conspiracy theories of obsessed true crime fanatics. But when news of Margot's book gets out, she receives threatening note that demands she stop lying or else. It chills Margot's blood because she hasn't been telling the truth, the whole truth. As the threats continue, each more sinister than the last, a journalist comes to Margot with new suspicions about the brutal October night. Now, to save her own life, Margot must reveal her well-guarded secrets, ones that, for good reason, she had been too terrified to share. I'm excited about this. I don't remember this being, because I watched the recommendation video like maybe beginning of 2025, so I don't really remember what these are about. But this is about 300 pages. So we have a little bit of everything with these thrillers. And the last one I have here is If You Lie by Caleb Stevens. Let's see what this one's about. 7 years ago, Olivia woke up in the trunk of a stranger's car and barely escaped with her life. She's been looking over her shoulder ever since. Now, Olivia is a true crime podcaster on a mission to help other women avoid her fate. But years spent covering violence and crime have left her burned out. When Olivia's estranged sister, Quinn, invites her to reconnect on an exclusive cruise, she jumps at the chance for a break. Only this trip won't be the relaxing vacation she's hoped for. The ship is elegant, the meals are divine, and the people are friendly, maybe too friendly. But Quinn isn't the sister Olivia remembers. And strange things are starting to happen that echo Olivia's past unsettling ways. When someone on the ship goes missing, Olivia realizes she's playing a dangerous game of cat and mouse, only this time she might not survive. That sounds fun. I am now realizing why I picked up these, or I added these to my cart, because they just seem like really fun. This is 290 pages. So again, we have a little bit of everything. I'm also finishing Save Me because I'm obsessed with Maxton Hall, the show. It is a dubbed series about this high school. This unpopular girl gets, finds out a secret about one of the richest people at the school, and the brother approaches her with like money, like, you can't tell what happened to my sister. And she's like, I wasn't going to tell anyways. And then she finds herself kind of like intertwined with this family. the guy ends up being her love interest. And I am listening to the book right now and I'm almost done. I have like an hour left. So I'm going to finish that. It's called Save Me. And it is so close to the show. If you love shows that are just like the book, like they do a really good job of making a show close to the book, then Maxton Hall is your thing if you haven't started it yet. Again, I'm also going to be listening to Heated Rivalry. I'm still trying to finish Wild Reverence. Again, I am obsessed with Rebecca Ross. Divine Rivals and Ruthless Vows, my favorite books. And Wild Reverence is kind of like a prequel, not connected. It's connected because it's the same universe, but the stories are not connected. But it's just a really long book, and it's very beautifully written. And I'm listening to it because the book is too pretty to read. It's gorgeous. It's just on my shelf. But I've been going through stuff, so it's been hard to really focus on it. So I'm going to pick that back up. I have it on Spotify. I'm going to listen to the rest of it. I'm like 60% into it. So I just need to get through these things, and the reset of my life has been really helping. Just getting back to like a good reading routine is going to make me so happy because I love reading so much. It brings me so much joy. Once I start like getting back into it, and really think I will with this set of books that I have, then I think life is just going to feel more back to normal. But I know I've just been sitting here like chatting like a casual chat. This is not like really an official, um, well done video, but it's really just to say that if you're going through a huge life change, that other people are out here going through real life huge changes too, and you are not alone. And a reset doesn't have to be an overhaul, it can just be little steps to resetting your life. And I will make more content about resetting my apartment. Also any other things that I decide to reset, I'll definitely be checking in with y'all. I'll be checking in on my reading goal, and if there's anything that you're going through or you have any questions for me, definitely let me know. I think my email is like in my bio, and you can also post a comment or something like that. But we're all going through life and, going through these life changes, and life ain't easy. Life ain't easy, y'all, but we just take it one day at a time. And that's all I have for today. Thanks for chatting with me. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next video.